The Liberty men's and women's triathlon team finished the year with another top 25 national finish. After completing her first season as the team's new head coach, Coach Heather Gollnick is looking to continue to improve on the Flames' national standing.
And joining me today is the head coach of the men's and women's triathlon team, Heather Gollnick. Heather, thanks for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having me.
Heather, let's talk about this past season. Obviously, you were able to have a lot of success with your team, including capping off with strong performances individually and also team-wise, with the team placing in the top 20 of the nation for the men's and women's at nationals.
Yeah, it was a great season. It was my first season here at Liberty. I absolutely loved being here. I came into like a really strong group of athletes that were really dedicated. Triathlon takes a lot of time. You're training 3 sports, swimming, biking, and running. And we're very fortunate to just come into a really dedicated group of athletes.
And yeah, talking about your first year, you were able to experience obviously a lot of success with this team and also achieve some great goals I know that you set yourself when you first came in. So talk about some of the success you were able to experience with your athletes, but even also talk about a little bit what you learned about this team.
Well, number one, I just love that I can share the Lord. It's just amazing that we're at Liberty and we can do that. And that's probably part of my favorite part of the team. And then that they love triathlon. I've been doing triathlon my whole life, and that they love it. They love to swim, they love to bike, they love to run. Not all of them. Some of them don't like to run. But it's a really good group of athletes. Unfortunately, we graduated quite a few athletes, but we were able to go to nationals. The guys were top 5. It was amazing. There was over 90 college teams there, and so just to be in that top echelon is pretty phenomenal.
And also, I know one of the things that you wanted to do, you talked about graduating some of your athletes, but one thing you wanted to do was boost the roster numbers. That has been one of your big goals since you first started in mid-fall. So kind of talk a little bit about the recruiting that you've been able to do and trying to get not only new athletes here next season to help just improve on your national standing.
Yeah, so recruiting was a whole new thing to me. I've been coaching for over 20 years, but had never done the recruiting aspect. And so thank you. You helped with some recruiting tools. And we have a handful of athletes coming in. And so I'm really excited just to really see where they are at. Triathlon's a little bit different because there's no high school triathlon teams, and so recruiting was a little bit different because of that. So we had to get a little creative on social media. Looking forward to meeting the athletes. A lot of them have already been under my direction for the whole summer, and so they log in and tell me how their workouts are going, and so I'm excited to see them in person.
And now let's talk a little bit about next season. Obviously, I know you have more goals that you want to achieve with this program going into your second year, especially with your new recruits. So talk a little bit about some of those goals that you're hoping to achieve in your second season as a coach.
Yeah, well, as you're here for a whole year, you get to know the athletes. You know which ones you really can push and which ones you kind of have to hold back on. I have a couple phenomenal females coming back. Both are which are going to be seniors. Heather Gollnick and Lacey, they're going to both be captains. Looking forward to seeing how they do. Heather had a rough season last year. She had a bike accident, and she's been coming back really strong from it and as dedicated as ever.
Well, Heather, thanks again for sitting down with us, and we can't wait to see how the team does next season.
Super, thanks for having me.